Um, yeah, so I mean, if you work out of here, you'll make friends pretty quickly, especially
Awesome.
if you're like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just like sharing this stuff around.
Oh, no worries.
Fetching video stream. Yes.
You're the title? Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do the whole like 3, 2, 1.
I just said that.
Okay, I didn't hear the countdown. Sorry.
Oh, we're going live.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Are we live on YouTube already?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're live. Are you ready
Yeah.
to be live?
3,
Yeah, sure.
2, 1. Yay.
3, 2, 1. We're live.
We're live. Hello, Internet.
Hi, world.
Wouldn't it be funny if your name was Internet as you was walking by?
Internet girl. Oh, that person. Okay, so we're live from Hack Days. We're going to take a few minutes to share this around to different groups. If you would like to share it for us as well, because you've seen Hack Days before and you like it, that would be great. Because sometimes we get banned from Facebook for sharing things. Why? I don't know.
Probably because we share the same thing in a bunch of different groups.
Hey guys,
Are you here for Hack Days?
I was actually, I need to get some work done, but then
Okay, go hack.
he invited me
Oh yeah, Steve.
to do lock picking. So
Oh,
I've
okay,
never
cool.
done that, so-
What?
Nice.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Enjoy the lock pickings.
I'm going to introduce Noisebridge. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we do this live from Noisebridge every Sunday. Typically at
What is
2
this?
Thursday. I'm gonna say we let me finish. We're called Hack Days, and we talk about hacking, but we cover a variety of topics, anything from math to AI. We talked a lot about Bitcoin. We've talked about DDoSing before. Anything that strikes our fancy. And
Only because we were getting DDoSed at the time.
yeah, but that was cool.
Yeah, the real cool.
Also very stressful.
I had like 4 hours of sleep that night.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
bad.
it was pretty.
Freaking Brazil. Why?
Yeah.
Anyway, probably.
Shout out to all our Brazilian watchers.
Shout out, guys. Thanks a lot for that. Anyway, so if you post comments in the comment thread, we'll interact with you. What else? Oh, we're live from Noisebridge. Noisebridge is a hackerspace in San Francisco. It's open to the public from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're in the Bay Area, come to the Mission. You just got to ring the bell and people will let you in. We only have one rule here. The rule is to be
Eat
excellent.
cheeseburgers. No,
I wish that was a rule. I wish there was.
that's my life rule.
If there could be a cheeseburger factory at Noisebridge, I'd be here all the time. Only rule is to be excellent to each other and, respect each other and don't be a jerk. So.
That's a long rule.
Okay,
Me
the
too.
only rule is be excellent to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seemed like a very long run-on sentence rule.
Listen, I'm trying to communicate with the audience here.
Trying to connect.
Yeah, trying to connect with you guys on a spiritual level. Yeah, we work out of here sometimes.
Is the audio coming out of here?
No, it's coming out of there.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, please join us for Hack Days.
What is Noisebridge?
I literally just talked about Noisebridge.
What happens in Noisebridge?
Noisebridge is an open space for anyone who wants to come and hack on things.
Hey.
Clearly, Danny was not listening to my spiel. Anyway, yeah.
What's at Noisebridge? I think that's pretty attractive.
Oh, what's at Noisebridge? Okay.
Yeah.
If you're in the Bay Area or you're traveling to the Bay Area, Noisebridge is a great place to add to your list of events. We have a wood shop here. We have a laser cutter. Ton of people coding and hacking on stuff. We have a sewing area, which is the area we're in right now. Behind us is the Flaschentasche. It actually won editor's choice at the Maker Faire this past year. It's pretty cool. We have a bunch of hacking shelves where people just drop off old computer parts, anything that you can rip apart and build like some other kind of Frankenstein machine or robot if you want. And that's open to like anyone who comes here. We also have a biohacking station. We have a VR setup. We have a place for like musical instruments. What else do we have? We have an entire library. It's just like packed with really good resources. And beyond that, there's just a lot of cool people here who know a lot. So don't be afraid to ask people questions. But again, be excellent to each other.
Oh, should I be sharing this around while you're doing this?
Yes.
Oh, my computer's too slow to share. I'll try. I'll try it out.
You know?
I'll try it out.
Just like...
You didn't tell me. I didn't know.
Literally.
You're talking to nobody right now. 2 people. One of them is me.
It would be me.
Okay.
But I didn't want to interrupt you guys. How's the Wi-Fi here?
Wi-Fi's great.
Okay.
Noisebridge or Noisebridge Legacy. But be alert, it is not protected. So
That's what I was. That's
what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, if you have weird porn on your computer.
That is not a thing.
I have like a
Protect your root
I
password.
have like a visual novel game I was making a while back. I think that's really it.
That's cool.
It was like you get like historical figures back in time, like Abe Lincoln and stuff like that, but they're all in like a high school setting together.
What?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I love this idea.
Yeah, I haven't worked on it in a bit, but it was something I was pretty passionate about a while ago.
Wow.
I want to imagine that it's like the high school anime game.
That's exactly what it is.
Where
but
like
but it's
Abraham
all, like,
Lincoln has like big Hawaii eyes.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
Notice me, George Washington.
Right? That's amazing.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start sharing this around. So for everyone that's tuning in right now, we're going to share it around and get the word out. So if you are watching at home and you want to help us out, you can share it to your favorite groups. And
I accidentally just ended the video.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can just do all the social media stuff on my phone.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Because it was asking me to like log in, and I was like, I'm okay.
To
are
Facebook?
we still on
Yeah, to
YouTube?
Facebook.
No, we're not still.
I don't know, it should be fine. Also, thank you for that introduction on Noisebridge.
Now you
I
know
knew nothing
everything.
about this place
Yeah.
coming in, so it was a great introduction for me. So.
I saw you listening. You were
Yeah, no, when you said like specifically it was like the biohacking, the library, and like the all like the kind of pick apart sort of thing.
It's a 5-hour
Oh.
A lot of the same jobs that people
There's
do.
so much, and there's always new people doing new things.
Yeah, how many times do we have to go through this every time?
Yes. Fetching video stream. So is there- Your computer is beautiful.
Mine? Oh, thank you. I put the little Apple logo over the H.
I saw that. But
Hacked.
yeah,
Hacked.
right?
Oh, we have a sticker.
And I guess to make it a little better too, originally it was Windows, but then I shifted it to Ubuntu, so it's like
Nice.
it's got like there's a lot of layers going into it.
Right.
You've hacked it.
I couldn't afford a Mac in college, so I had a netbook that I would run Ubuntu on.
Smart.
Yeah. Well,
Welcome
no,
to
I
Hack
had a Hackintosh.
A
It was
Hackintosh, yeah.
So
no, I have
put
one of those.
Snow
It's just
Leopard
really
on.
old and doesn't work anymore. But
Yeah. That's how it works.
as it usually goes, yeah.
Yeah. We're live streaming.
What?
We're
It's a
online.
camera.
Yeah, it's a camera.
Are you Hack Days?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're Hack Days. Are you here to join Hack Days?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I'm going to the camera. It
You
makes
could
me
sit.
feel-
What's that?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here.
Okay.
Makes me feel- Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm curious because I'm actually learning Python, but do you do some project together
So Hack Days it started out of us like programming at a friend's house on his living room floor, and then it got too big for that space because we had like 8 people show up once, and we started.
Crazy.
We started, which I mean, it's a small place, right?
It was amazing.
So we started live streaming it, and then we moved here, and it became more of a live stream, talking about kind of what we're working on, like a show and tell, as well as like everything that's happening across like machine learning, bots, cryptocurrency, things like that. And really, the content depends on who shows up. So you know, you can talk about your project or whatever. It's just about like being social and like chatting. It's less about sitting down and like programming, but you're welcome to sit down and program if that's what you're here to do.
No, actually I get much more because I'm interested in joining some kind of group. So because I've been learning by myself, so it's kind of like it feels sometimes like a learning journey, you know, in the sense that of course I'm going to keep learning by myself because it's easier. So in some way I just follow the tutorials, etc., and keep practicing. But then, yeah, so I'm interested. The only thing is that I'm not sure how I could contribute since I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm just in
I'm in the same boat as you, so
Cool.
but I mean, yeah.
So there's so Noisebridge is a great space. Is this your first time here?
No, I've been here for several times. So.
Okay, so they have like a Python. Have you been to that?
Mondays with Trent, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
And then there's also the free code camp.
Yes.
Okay, so you're aware of those things.
Yeah.
But you want to code with people in person? Is that what you want, as opposed to like, or you want local people?
Yeah, just meet people that are, hacking some and then learn a little bit more about technology. Because, like, I have a really general and basic idea. So even with Python, I'm just don't know exactly how to apply the knowledge that I'm getting, you know. So,
Well, I think the best way to learn is to have a goal. Like, I know the goal simply by itself is like to learn, but if you have like a project that you want to work on, or like have something in mind that you can work towards, it's much easier than just going, oh, I'm going to learn everything across the board, because then I think it becomes overwhelming at some point.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And it's like, especially like, okay, so I tried to re-break into like Node and like JavaScript, and like there's like a whole ecosystem of things that I have no idea about, and like I just wanted to learn it. And so I think it's easier if I have like a very specific project and I understand like the development pipeline to accomplish exactly what I need to accomplish. And yeah, I think that's much easier than just like sitting down and going, okay, now I know all these things, and then like what do I do and how do I implement them, right?
Also, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
Like if you can like code something and launch it and share it to the world, and they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Then you're an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Yeah, you can definitely. We work out of here a lot of the time, so yeah, you're welcome to hang out. Welcome to Hack Days. What's your name?
Irene?
Irene. I'm Dan.
Dan?
Yeah,
Nice
nice to meet you.
Catherine.
Catherine?
Nice to meet you.
Gabriel, pleasure to meet you. Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, are we live yet?
Yes, we're live.
Oh, we're still live. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did you give the intro? We need to give the intro.
Highly professional. I love it.
Welcome to Hack Days Live.
Nice.
I broke this chair earlier, so I was just
Oh.
seeing if I could like fix this. Welcome to Hack Days. Oh my god. Welcome to Hack Days Live. We're live at Noisebridge Hackerspace in San Francisco Bay Area. If you've never been to Noisebridge and you live in the Bay Area, you're welcome to come join us. We're here at 2:30 on Sundays, so please. Noisebridge is a open hackerspace from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. to the public.
You might want to pull the microphone closer.
Oh. And all you have to do is ring the bell on Mission Street, and someone will let you in, hopefully. And then the only rule we have here is to be excellent to each other. Noisebridge offers a variety of machinery as well as intelligent minds who gather here. We have a laser cutter, we have a biohacking area, we have all these hack shelves where you can literally take anything off the shelf and hack it, so you can build like whatever you want from all these awesome parts that people have donated. It's a donation-only space, so if you do come and you use some of the machinery, like in the wood shop or the laser cutter, or really like anything else, we ask that you donate whatever you can. Furthermore, there's several classes that go on here. There's a Python class and a bunch of other stuff. And if you go to Noisebridge, what is it? Noisebridge.net. Is that the thing? I think it's Noisebridge.net. You can find out more on the wiki pages. What else? What am I missing? There's a bunch of stuff here. Anyway, we're here.
Yeah.
We're live at Hack Days. My name's Catherine. This is...
I'm Dan. Yeah, no, Noisebridge is awesome. There's 3D printers, there's laser cutters. Did you already go through the list of equipment?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to share this.
I
Either
know.
you're going to host or share.
I don't know, both.
Okay.
I can share. I can be put on share duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I sent it to my my kind of social group. I just told them not to flame, so I think everything will be okay.
No, they totally flame us. It's like more views.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Like
not?
either way, people are watching. Either they love us or they hate us. It's-
Yeah.
Just don't be indifferent. Like that's all I ask.
Yeah. Have an opinion.
Polarized, right?
Yeah. We're a very polarizing group. Cool. So let's see. We have somebody new that's learning Python.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. Welcome to San Francisco. You're
Thank
new
you.
to the city.
Yeah, I'm new. I just moved here.
What's your name?
Gabriel. Thank
Hey,
you.
Gabriel.
I go by Gabriel Bishop. It sounds a little fancier.
Oh, that
Oh
is
my
nice.
god, I
Wow.
love that.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your real last name?
That's my real second first name.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Wow.
I have.
You're like a sci-fi character.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I just moved here because I was saying it before. I knew like web development, and I did some of that. I also taught. I actually taught coding to kids in SoCal.
Nice.
With this great company or a great nonprofit called LA Makerspace. Personal plug a little bit right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But yeah, so we're pretty passionate about bringing coding to kids, and we're thinking about probably working with people up here in the Bay, because I've only been to like a couple more social gatherings of like hacker people, and like all these people are like coming up to me and they're like please like bring coding to kids. We need more kids in like
Yeah.
InfoSec and NetSec and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
so looking forward to that.
That's sick.
When I was a kid, what really excited me about programming was hacking other people's computers.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool, right? That's actually how I got into programming. I went on AOL. I think I'm dating myself now. Went on AOL and I asked somebody to teach me how to hack, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll teach you how to hack." And then they basically just taught me how to program, and like I like learned KNRC, and then it was like all downhill from there. I learned that the internet was not comprised solely of AOL. I learned that there were other servers out there. Yeah, it was like, it opened up my world. And
Wow.
I actually, funny enough, I reached out to somebody who had written a blog post under this person's same hacker handle. And they emailed me back and they were like, that was a long time ago. And it's the same person.
Wow.
So I found the person that got me into...
No
And like
way.
randomly too, right?
Yeah,
Like just
it was
out
on
of
a
nowhere.
Hacker
Wow.
News. It was on a Hacker News post, and I was like, NeoZeed, like that.
NeoZeed.
It can't be the same person. And I reached out and like, yeah,
Oh my god, that's so. Where are they now? What are they doing?
still hacking.
But like, where do they? What? Oh, I want to know everything. This
I
is
don't
so
know.
cool.
I was just like, I said thanks and like got their email and like, yeah, it was cool.
That is sick.
So are
That
kids
is
more
so
attracted?
cool.
Like, how do you attract children to programming? Like, what's their hook, right?
For me, I found, especially because, well, you get a grab bag of kids, especially because I would teach out in areas like Watts, like Compton, Inglewood area, like stuff like that. So sometimes you'd get kids who, like very few, but like every once in a while, it'd be like sometimes like a kid who's like 7 and doesn't know how to read, or like and like people who've never been on a computer, or people who've been like programming with programs like Scratch and making games for like 3 years and stuff like that. Like, you get like such an insane amount of different people. So I usually try to start where they are, pretty much.
Right.
So, for example, if it's a kid who has actually never done any sort of coding, or does usually in most cases don't even know what the word coding means, I usually start them with, like, let's say Scratch. If you guys know that program, yes, Scratch is such an amazing program, especially for starting out. And like, my first goal is really just to get them to make something, like a game or something that, like, that's their idea. So something that comes from their mind to show, yes, I can do this, and I can do this again and again until they get more into it. Because we would have like workshops, pretty much, where it was just 4-week sessions, 2 hours once a week. So it would be 8 hours in total. So I had 8 hours with these kids, and my goal was just to get them interested, to think about it when they're not just like kind of in the class with me. So the way I would do that is I would just like pretty much find out what they want to do. Yeah. And then like I'm like, all right, let's work on this and get them to do it, and then almost like they almost kind of taught themselves a little bit, and then like if they had questions and stuff like that, I'd be able to help them. Or like one of the big things too is like that kind of more open source mindset, especially with Scratch, because you can get other people's programs and just like copy and paste it like how you would, like, or you can get other people's code like how you kind of would with just normal coding. So so also like kind of implementing those little ideas in their head where they don't have to do it all on their own. Because when I first started coding, that was like the biggest struggle for me is like, I think I started when I was like maybe like really started when I was like 14. Like that was like the first time I ever touched it, but it was like realizing that like I can do, like, take stuff from other people and really work that to be my own kind of. So not have to reinvent the wheel every time, pretty much is what I'm
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
cool.
so cool.
So you get them interested in basically like, okay, we're gonna make a game, and everyone loves.
Yeah, they love it. Because they've all like even if they didn't really think about it, like they all really want to make something.
Right.
Yeah.
And like a game is such a great thing to make, because then they can like show their parents or their family or their friends and like be like, look, I did this, I made this, and it's like, it's just the kind of thing that really puts a smile on their face.
I wonder if hacking is necessarily a subset of creativity, like the opportunity to kind of identify and explore and exploit and create and manipulate something, right?
Well, I mean, for me, like, I was saying to you guys, I'm not sure if it made it on stream, but it was like, I just like, when we were talking about like sorry.
I just got that. I was like, what do you mean?
We had a little technical difficulty earlier.
Listen, I pressed one button. Facebook, if you're listening now, the end video button that you have for your live stream
Why would you press
a lot like something if you want to put a message in the comments. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it was like I went to DEF CON, and it was like, to me it just felt like the Wild West, you know? And it's like you're saying with that creativity where it's like with like web development, at least, like I didn't feel that engaged. And I felt pretty engaged with the teaching, but like but I hardly got the chance to ever work with anything more than like, all right, now here's a loop for like how, like, just like kind of like the very basics of like how to really do stuff. So like this has been my personal challenge, because like sitting at home and reading a book on like C or something like that is like my brain can't handle just sitting down and reading.
Right.
So
It's so boring.
well, I know, yeah. So like I'm finding like I know exactly. So I'm just trying to. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Is I'm just like trying to figure out how to like do that kind of stuff while not like wanting to put a cheese grater against my face.
Yeah.
So.
wow, I just
Like,
pictured that image.
yeah.
That's
If only learning was fun.
Yeah.
It is. Like,
it just depends. Like, I mean, it's kind of like that. What was it? The insanity thing, where it's like if you keep on trying to do something the same way every time.
Right.
Like definition is like, it really hit me when I kept on trying to like read these books, and like it wasn't going through, especially like the web hackers handbook, like version 2 or whatever, like, which is like the I think it was like considered like I don't know, but it's like an important book that like a lot of hacker people read, because like I said, I'm not completely into this yet. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah. And if only learning is fun is just a joke. I am definitely a learner. But I definitely agree that there is something about some material that my brain just puts up a wall.
Textbooks, like really for me, it's like
Really?
if it's written like a novel, like I eat that up. But yeah.
Oh, like a choose your own adventure programming game. Wait, we had that at one point, like Code Hero. Do you have time?
I can be on camera for 30 seconds.
Okay, you want to plug anything
camera.
that you're working on? Introduce yourself and plug what you're working on.
I'm Scotty. I have a YouTube channel called Strange Parts, and I've been shooting at Noisebridge for the past month, and I've got a video about Noisebridge coming out soon, and then a project I made at Noisebridge, and then hopefully a video about some stuff that I bought for Noisebridge. And there's like 16 different camera angles of me.
Isn't it cool? You can pick.
Oh, wait,
up
there's more than one camera?
No, but it does all this really cool stuff.
It does it for
That's
you
pretty
automatically.
So they can find you on Strange Parts on YouTube. But
Yep, Strange Parts on YouTube.
what about Twitter? Do you do the tweets?
Strange Parts Com, because Strange Parts is a band on
Okay.
Twitter.
Really?
Who's really annoyed at me now. I don't know that they're annoyed, but they do get like people asking them technical questions, which they're not really very good to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Great. What kind of stuff do you do on your YouTube, if you don't mind me asking? If you have
Yeah.
another 10 seconds.
I do all sorts of crazy projects and adventures
Oh,
to
that's
do with
awesome.
technology all over the world. So I made my own iPhone in China.
Oh,
and
that's
I
great.
added a headphone jack to an iPhone. And I went to India to try and make my own manhole cover, and totally failed. They thought I was an industrial spy.
I think that's so crazy.
It's
But
just
also,
really crazy.
I want to be a spy, so I might be okay with that.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And yeah, that's the kind of thing I do.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm
So-
excited for 2015.
Where are you headed next?
Headed to Colorado to see my family, and then Germany for 34C3, which is the annual hackers conference in Germany between Christmas and New Year's.
Are we gonna get to see any footage of that?
Yeah, I probably will shoot some there. People are a little camera shy there, but we'll see
Cool.
what I can arrange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for stopping by.
Totally.
Good to see you again.
Bye, Scotty.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, likewise.
Have a good day.
Okay, yeah, you too. I'll be back before I leave, probably. I don't know if I'll see you guys.
Okay.
Yep. Subscribing to the channel now. Sounds awesome. Looking
It
forward
is
to it.
so awesome. I can't
One
believe it.
subscriber at a time.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
See ya. Yeah, Scotty's great.
I
That's,
love Scotty.
Good content there. If you're watching at home, definitely check out Scotty's channel.
Oh, nice. Wow, 450,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're
he is no
450,001.
joke,
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get rid of the chair. It's squeaky.
dude. Your chair? I think it adds, like, character.
Yeah.
Cut the squeaks. Now am I too low? Am I just high enough? Okay.
you can you
I'm
make
just
it
high
high?
enough.
Oh my god.
Somebody's gonna use that in a video. Okay. Cool. So what were you saying before we?
Oh, I was just saying, like, personally, like, learning, like, trying to learn the craft of it, while also learning to love the craft of hacking and stuff like that. That's my current hurdle that I'm going over right now. So
And your idea, your hacking in this context was more infosec, more security related stuff, or
yeah, I mean, at least to start with, because
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what I want to do, but bug bounties sound appealing because
Yeah.
it's kind of like a race against the clock a little bit. So
yeah.
yeah.
I got rid of this chair because it was squeaking.
But it's more comfortable than the one I was sitting on. Also, who doesn't open the door?
Anyway, cool. So where now this one's squeaking.
I know.
What resources are you using?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, right now, I'm actually using, I'm going all over the place. I really started with Pico CTF kind of stuff, so like trying to do more capture the flag. And
What is Pico CTF?
It's like a capture the flag kind of simulator website a little bit.
Okay.
Where it has like a bunch of different capture the flag challenges, all listed. There's different kinds. So, but it also like has to do with like.
And so for people at home that don't know what capture the flag is in terms of the hacking world, how would you describe it?
Well, my description would probably be really bad, but because I'm still trying to figure out exactly everything. But pretty much capture the flag is there is a there is a program that you have to get into. Correct me if I'm wrong here, by the way.
Okay.
And like, for example, there may be some sort of like authentication blocking you. Like, for example, you have to log in to like a website to get to that flag. As it's called, flag is more of a metaphor here for your goal, like trying to,
Right.
your goal being getting into this, like, let's say account for now, or getting an administrator account. So then it's your job to try to find a different way into that besides just putting in the username and password, because you don't have the password. So you could do that by so you try to figure out a bunch of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm stuck at right now, trying to figure out how to do that.
Right. Is it so? There's a bunch of different capture the flags.
Yes.
What I imagine is to be it's probably one is more difficult than the last.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Each one is more difficult than the last.
Yeah, because it has like, I think it's like 5 levels, each with like maybe like 20 challenges in it. And each challenge is worth like somewhere from like 20 to 50 points.
Okay.
And then I think the farther the levels you go up, it's like 150 and stuff like that. But I would say it's a great resource because it actually has this other thing with it, or at least the Pico CTF does, called, it's like Piazza. And it pretty much has a forum on it. I'm actually opening it up right now, but it pretty much tells you, like, that is if like you're trying to get into it and like didn't really know much about it. It has a forum that like for example, if you had questions on what each of the flags were, you could ask that question. And there's like, but it's like a little community, pretty much. I think it's great.
And where can people find out about it?
Well, I would go to the. Hold on, let's see. I would go to. Let me see if I can find the website really quick. To start off with, it's the Pico CTF 2017. It's made for like, I think it's made for like more like high school students a little bit. But you go to that, and then once you're going through all the problems, or once you log in and stuff like that, one of the problems is Piazza, and pretty much once you go through that, it's the point of that problem is just to say, like, I joined the forum, where if I have any questions about these flags, or like if I found any bugs or anything like that, that I can put all my stuff here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And where can people find out more information?
Well, I mean, I would just start with it's just 2017game.picoctf.com, and that's just where I went. Like I spent a few hours one day trying to find like some CTF stuff that I could dive my head into, and out of all the ones that I was even able to do, this was like probably the best one. So
Sick.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then right now, I mean, as far as like learning that kind of stuff, I mean, like this is like resources I've just found is like Reddit How to Hack has like a great sidebar with like some sticky posts that are really great to look at, stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, yeah.
What is How to Hack?
It's a subreddit pretty much, and it's like if you have questions, you can put them in there, or if people have resources, they can put them in there. And it has like like a sidebar that has like a lot of different resources. Like, well, if you don't know what you want to do, this is like a good place to start, pretty much. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, Reddit's. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, like, Reddit's like amazing for any of this kind of stuff. At least from what I've found so far.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to update the status on this thing, and it won't update.
What do you need?
So I learned hacking the hard way, I think.
Yeah.
There was more read the manual
Yeah.
than anything, and then you had to like discover, kind of pull back the curtains on your own, and then you were at the time really inspired by reading about other famous hackers, right? So Captain Crunch, Loft, Laud, Mod, whatever, CDC, like all these old school hacking groups that were basically like people that loved breaking into systems, right?
Yeah.
And so you read about what they would do and like how they would approach things, and then you got to read text files, right? So like zines were a big thing back in the day, where people would write about how they broke into systems. You had 2600, you had Frack, you had Scud,
I actually
a bunch of other stuff.
I actually worked on a zine when I was like 14. I had like I don't think it ever got done, but it was like a little column where it was like, what's like the next hottest meme or something. So.
The next hottest meme.
Yeah, no, when I was like 14 or 15. Yeah.
And I think that's how I got into it. There wasn't like a necessarily, these are the steps that you take in order to understand or break into systems. It was more or less like, okay, you had to make those observations yourself.
Yeah.
And then like, all right, you went step by step. You're like, okay, I'm gonna war dial, or I'm gonna like network scan things, and then that was like the first step, right? And then you learn over time how to exploit the components that make up all of this infrastructure.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I think kids, and this is gonna be a big thing. I think kids shouldn't be. I don't think it should be against the law for children to hack into systems, because it was so fun. It like, literally drove all of my interest in programming.
Yeah, and especially now because it's like the amount of trouble you can get into
it's
doing
crazy.
that.
Right?
Even as a kid too.
Yeah.
So
I think gaming is a good alternative to help.
It's true. You can always figure out how to hack your game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even one of someone that comes to Noisebridge. I think. Can I even say that?
What?
One of our friends worked on something called Code Hero, which was a game that would basically teach you how to code, that had a whole like underbelly of like, if you simultaneously learn how to hack the system, like you could change the game while you're playing it, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome. It's called Code Hero. They had a Kickstarter back in the day.
That would
and
be
it's still
sick.
around.
Yeah, I found a blog about it just recently. Yeah, looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of different iterations of it, but I think the intent is awesome. It was kind of made by hackers for up and coming hackers. I
Well, that's
think.
awesome. I'll definitely check that out
Yeah.
at the very least. Yeah.
Okay, my computer's like super slow.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Lame.
Yeah, for me, I feel like because you're saying like how you kind of like the way that you learned it. I feel like I'm going through, at least personally, a similar process.
Yeah.
Just with also like a bunch of practice things to break into now, as opposed to just breaking into the real thing.
Yeah. It's like practicing how to lockpick, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's you're lockpicking in your own locks, or like your friends' locks that let you use it. So, I mean, for me, because it's like I'm like really starting from the ground up, like learning C right now, and I'm trying to learn like the Linux command line and Bash. Is that the right way to say it? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Great. So like.
It's amazing.
So I'm just now learning that stuff, because really it was like for the command line, it was really just like push to git, and like that was really the most that I really did in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's interesting that you bring that up and you ask like, is this the right way to pronounce things? Because I learned everything on IRC, right? Like everything I did was on chat. And so back in the day, you had phone freaks, which are people that would exploit phone systems. And the first time we heard anything like IRL, besides like going to a local 2600 meeting, if you were too young to drive, you would hop on voice bridges.
Oh wow.
So you would call up, like DEF CON used to have a voice bridge where you would like talk to anonymous random hackers from like everywhere, right? And that's the first time you would hear things getting pronounced, and it was just like, okay, this is now.
If any of my friends are watching, they're gonna roll my eyes when I say this a little bit, but when I played Pokemon a lot, like I didn't really have too many friends at the time.
Yeah.
So like I would say like the Pokemon like a different way. And like all my friends would be like, actually it's Arceus, and I would be like, okay, thank you. Like it's just something that it reminded me of a little bit.
I think that's like the reader's problem.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I for a long time I didn't know chaos was. I thought it was a K, and so whenever I saw the word chaos, I thought it was Chouse.
No.
Yeah. So I was playing Sonic one day, and my friend came over.
The Chaos Emerald.
And I was like, oh, we have to get the Chouse emeralds, and he's like, you mean chaos? And I was like, No, it's Chouse. It's CH. I'm like, yeah. We all learn different. You know, we all learn from different
Yeah.
mediums in different ways. So,
great.
yeah.
I'm the same. What did I don't know. There's a lot of things that, yeah. I'm just going to stop there.
It happens. I once dated somebody that read a bunch of Harry Potter and was definitely like a reader, and so everything that she would say that was Harry Potter related was like her own way of pronouncing it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Hermione, I didn't know how to say her name for a long time.
What
and
did
when
you
I
think?
read it, it was like Heromuena.
Ooh, how fancy.
Yeah, and so I remember just reading that book. I would like just skip her name sometimes. I'd be like, that person. I know who the character
That
is.
person, one of the main characters.
Yeah. I mean, that's life, right?
Yeah. So let's talk.
so funny.
Let's talk about cryptocurrency.
Ooh, I'd love to hear. Yeah.
Right. So, has Bitcoin passed 20 grand yet?
Not. I checked last night. It was like 191 or something like that.
No, Bitcoin is 19,000
Yeah,
something.
it's like 19,000, like 500 or something.
What is
We
it?
were- We're actually in a list.
19
I don't know,
It's,
my
it's
laptop.
like 19. If you round it up, it's like 19,700.
Okay, all-time high.
It's,
I-
19,898.
Just go to Coin Market Cap.
It's right there.
But what's its all-time high? Uh,
20.
no, you gotta click on one day. What's this? What's this blue one?
2,500.
You just scroll over it. We've crossed $20,000.
We have already?
Yes,
Wow.
today.
Yeah, that must have just happened last night because I was literally looking like yesterday,
Yeah.
and we weren't there yet. Wow.
It happened at
It's
right
so
after
fast
noon.
now because it was like even a few months ago, it felt like it was so slow because like my friends were talking about it because they've just been doing it for a while. I heard it explained by this guy. It was like super amazing way to explain Bitcoin or
Yeah.
just cryptocurrency in general. But it was like 2000, like when I first started really looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just crazy that like even since
Wait, 2000 what?
what? Oh, I really just started looking at it this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like that was
Oh,
like in
it
July.
was. I thought you meant in the year 2000. No, it cost 2000.
No,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like it cost 2,000, like
Yeah.
around like 2,000, 2,500.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been crazy. But what's weird is there hasn't been much talk about BTC at 20K. It's mostly been like quiet, actually. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a
and
lot of talk for the 10K. But
Yeah, which was real exciting. 15K was kind of, and like
Yeah.
20K, it's just like, I think everyone's just holding their breath.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like, it
We're
feels
like all
really
on
weird.
pins and
yeah.
needles, like.
And I never got into Bitcoin just yet. At least as far as like financially.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know. I don't know when exactly would be a good time to do that because I hear all these-
Today.
Today.
The best time was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
The,
yeah.
the next best time is today. Yeah.
Yeah. I
yeah.
guess the only thing was because there's like a whole bunch of talk about like a Bitcoin bubble right now. Because like that was like the one thing that I was reading about yesterday was that they're thinking that there's a bubble. But who's this they also when you talk about it, you know?
And like,
So-
what does a
Everyone?
bubble mean?
Yeah.
Like, and if people could predict the future, they'd all be Bitcoin trillionaires.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. Yeah, but I do feel like a lot of people are holding their breath, and I do feel like a lot of people are saying like, oh, okay, it's just like really give and take between different alts right now, where like Ethereum, LTC are pumping, and then the money is being used to put back into Bitcoin, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
It's like kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
So like I definitely see like our cryptographic holdings are pretty flat across the board because money's just going back and forth from one to another. I don't see a whole lot of new money coming in, although we were in a Lyft and there was a fellow Lyft passenger that was interested in cryptocurrency enough to know the names of the different altcoins, but had never purchased. And she was wondering if she should wait until it drops. And I think that kind of mentality where you're just like, oh, I'll just wait until it drops. Like, it may never drop, right?
Yeah.
Or it may not drop
What if
enough
this
for you
is
to
the new
justify.
drop?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you should buy now and then like
Well, also too, it's like the thing that I always found tricky is that like it seems to be thought of, and I feel like this is like not a great way to think about it as like a stock, like but solely as a stock, which is I don't think is how it should be thought personally.
Well, people look at it as like a store of value.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, because transaction fees are so high, you
Yeah.
can't use it for everyday transactions, right?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't go into the grocery store and buy eggs with it.
No.
Well, it depends on the grocery store, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is
but
something great.
It would
but,
cost too much, even like the fees and everything.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like too expensive.
Yeah. No, I know
But-
there's some companies that are moving, or there was at least a company. I think it's a DC company that recently moved to strictly cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Really.
So just so you know that we're live streaming.
Is that camera?
Yeah.
I thought live streaming means you just it's a
No, it's not
Okay.
like audio,
I'm
but
sorry.
it's video
No,
as well.
you're good.
No,
You
you're
can
good. Just so
definitely
you know
have-
that you're like on camera right now. Yeah, that's why we put the sign up.
But yeah, but I don't know. It's like I feel like cryptocurrency should just be seen as more of its own thing than like at least like a lot of my friends. I would say they think about it as like a stock more.
Yeah, and I think that's the way a lot of people are looking at it.
Yeah. And it just doesn't feel right to me personally. I mean, I guess it makes sense like currently what it is. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm huge on Ethereum.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other stuff, and it's like still the Wild West. It's almost hard to talk about because it feels like we keep talking about the same things in this space right now.
Yeah.
But it is a winter. Everyone's kind of on break.
Yeah.
So it's a little stagnant, other than just like, BTC is going to 20K.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out of the
Yeah.
excitement, right? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I mean, I feel like I haven't even tapped in yet because I just know so little about
Oh, yeah.
it. And also, I have no financial investment in it.
Yeah.
So then because of that, I don't have too much emotional investment in it either.
Right.
So.
Well, what's interesting to me is I'm starting to see. So there were different stages. For me, I got into BTC in like 2012, 2013, and it was definitely like core nerds, right? Like, and that's always exciting because that really reminds me of like early Google.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I worked in the ISP industry, when I was like in the underground scene, a lot of people liked early Google, but only my friends knew what early Google was,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of how early BTC felt. And over time, there's been a lot of marketing around it, a lot of sales, and a lot of hype. And more recently, I've seen a new class of person start participating in crypto, and those are people that are taking on a lot of risk knowingly.
Yeah.
So one instance, I had someone message me about wanting to participate in a particular cryptocurrency that was a known Ponzi scheme, right?
What?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And I said, that's a Ponzi scheme. Don't do
Yeah.
it. And they're like, well, I get 1% back every week. And so here's the
That is a Ponzi.
here's the risk versus reward in their head. They're like, as long as I can stay like one step ahead and pull out what I need, right, before
It's
it
like a gambler's
collapses.
fallacy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's the mentality of these people who just want to take on more and more risk to achieve what are potentially unrealistic gains.
Yeah.
And that worries me the most. And that might be a better indicator of a bubble when
Yeah,
people.
no, because I was thinking about that too. Because I mean, I don't know too much about the housing crisis, but that was like a big thing with the Big Short was nobody could afford to lose in that situation, so everyone lost even harder because of it. It would be the same idea with Bitcoin,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
With the Bitcoin bubble, if it is a bubble.
Yeah. And one of the most interesting things about this, though, is it's hard for me to compare to those type of assets because Bitcoin itself or other cryptocurrencies themselves like require you to pull money out or exchange it for other crypto. Pulling money out is hard, and exchanging it like on Coinbase or something, they'll have like circuit breakers or they'll go down for maintenance, and so you can't just make a run for the market.
Yeah.
Right? You can move the market, but flash crashes, I don't know. The more we see these like derivatives and things, and people playing more abstracted games, I think in the market, we'll probably see more volatility. But I think it's hard to crash the market
Yeah.
because you can't really move the market a lot, especially if you're like an individual, like a
Yeah.
Coinbase or something.
I mean, because the thing is too is it's like also you're not like the thing with Bitcoin too is you're not exactly pushing products like how you would be with a stock usually, right? Like so I could see why that would be even harder to crash because of that. So.
But who knows? Tomorrow it
Yeah,
might be
who knows,
$1,
yeah.
and like, yeah,
Right?
I'll eat my words. But if it does, I'll buy your bitcoins. Because I'm a firm, long-term believer in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Same.
Like since 2012, 2013, I've always said BTC will be $1 million for one BTC one day.
Well, if that's the case, then I should probably go ahead and get on that.
I see it, but I cannot give you financial advice. But I do appreciate crypto.
Well, no, yeah. One of the things is I mean, I was actually thinking about getting into Bitcoin specifically because I fell into some Christmas money just recently.
Fell into some grandma's
Fell.
Christmas money.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out, mom. No. So I think I was thinking that would be a perfect thing to really start working on. But I wanted to get to know more about it. So even if I didn't know and I just like tossed in the money into Bitcoin or whatever, at the very least I want to know what my money's going to a little bit more about.
Right.
So yeah.
I think ultimately, if people are looking to purchase crypto, to hold and save, to speculate on it, you should do so with money that you are 100% just as likely or just as comfortable going out into the street and setting it on fire.
Yeah. No, that was exactly what I was thinking too. Hence like the Christmas money where it's like. It's. I feel like.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Grandma's Christmas money doesn't
Then
need to be
again,
set on fire.
I could,
Right?
I could get a
Like,
new pair of shoes on
wow.
that.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah.
Well, but it's not the money that I'm interested in with Bitcoin. That's not why I would invest that money in the first
Yeah.
place. It's because I love the idea of Bitcoin. I love the idea of cryptocurrency in general. Like, a good friend of mine, he told me he really got me into it. He showed me a $50 U.S. bill and it was pre-colonial money.
Right.
And it was like it was laminated, and he gave it to me to show it to me.
He's like, this is
Laminated.
worth $30 now.
Well, no. He was telling me, he was like this, like the idea behind this was is how he sees Bitcoin pretty much, or cryptocurrency in general, where
Mass delusion.
where. Well, no, like it was $50 pre-colonial American money backed by Spain,
Okay.
and he was
Oh,
saying that,
wow, okay.
and he was saying that you don't, you shouldn't be thinking about it like how you would like a stock kind of. The way you should be thinking about it is the same way you think about like the pre-colonial money. But before that, you're betting on America working,
Right.
pretty much. You're betting on America. You're betting more on the idea than anything else, really, pretty much.
Right.
Which I thought was a great way to put it, at least to get me interested in it. So
Yeah.
That is cool. So yeah. Also, there's let's talk about the wealth creation that BTC has made happen, right? Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
BTC is now worth $20,000 per coin. It's made a lot of people really rich, and one of those people decided to put forward, I think, like $80 million or something
The pineapple guy?
to Pineapple Fund, yeah.
Yeah.
To a charity that has, I don't know, they're just, I mean, it blows my mind. Their whole thing was like, I've made a lot of money, and this money should go towards better things, pretty much, right?
Yeah, he's like a philanthropist. now.
86 million, but we don't know who this person is, right?
No.
Right. So, yeah, check out pineapple.fund. Is that the website?
I just linked everybody.
Okay. So check that out. If you are part of a charitable organization, you can apply to receive help. I think they're donating up to like $1 million per cause.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check it out. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pineapplefund.org, donating 86 million of Bitcoins to charity. And the tagline is, because once you have enough money, money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
freaking true,
Yeah.
right? It's sick.
So yeah, check
Yeah,
that
it's
out.
sick.
So not only are there like a lot of like terrible things happening, but there's also a lot of awesome, wonderful, and magical things happening.
Yeah.
And you know, it's always our responsibility to make sure that with our prosperity, we help others.
And they've even already donated to 8 different charities. So
EFF, yeah, good one.
yeah, that's sick. Charity water,
OpenBSD. OpenBSD got 50,000. That's awesome.
right? I mean, so that's pretty cool. That they're actually, you know, obvious.
Cool.
So cool. The other thing, there's a new black metal album. It was published and it was made by AI. If you want to listen to it,
By an AI, is that what you said?
yeah,
What is this called?
I'm gonna link you guys to it. I don't know what do they call it?
Is it? I'm curious what. Okay, so you have an artificial intelligence that produces some work, some body of work.
Yeah.
The person that built the AI owns the copyrights to that work, right? And they're able to license out the output of the AI.
Right.
But can you just say, okay, well, yeah, you can license the AI to say like any work generated by this model is essentially free or open, and anyone's able to use it however they want.
Yeah, there's no royalties associated.
Right. So yeah, I'm just curious, like one day when like people release their models into the wild to generate like.
Is it going to be open or
totally-
is it going to be like shreds, like?
And when can the model itself decide that it wants to produce content of a particular license?
Food for thought.
Are you into black metal?
Personally, I don't listen to it, but
Yeah.
but some of my friends are. So if they put it on, I'll listen to it. Yeah.
Shout out to friends that listen
Yeah.
to black metal.
It says here at first the sounds that were produced were noisy and grotesque. My kind of music. According to an interview published in the Outline, however, it became more sophisticated thanks to a process that saw as many 5 million guesses at how a black metal song should sound made over the course of 3 days.
Wow.
5 million guesses.
Wow.
That doesn't
Can-
seem like a lot.
Did it evolve off itself at all, or anything like that?
Basically what it's saying.
I think you can. You should definitely be able to do that.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I would assume that it wouldn't be too hard to kind of, because I know there's like programs that, at least like the programs that are like that I know about are like with like Mario. There was like it was Mar.io. It was like it was a program
That's funny.
that that got him through the like level, but like it took him like a ton of attempts, and it would like it would kind of evolve over time.
Yeah.
To like getting like the fastest time possible. And it would just be crazy because like you'd just be like spinning around and like doing everything like insanely fast.
Did you guys also see? I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter, and they used predictive text to like a bot to write another chapter of Harry Potter.
Really?
It's so
Did they?
funny.
Oh, I can't give away anything. Did they? I want to ask so many questions. What is the length of time required? What is the time required? Okay. What is the requirement of time lapse in order to talk about things that have happened in a movie or a story, or before it's no longer a
Well,
spoiler?
This happened like this week, so I feel like everyone should have read it already.
But I want to ask particular questions. Did it bring characters back? Did it invent new characters? Like
No, it used the same characters.
okay.
So the title of the chapter is called "The Handsome One."
Oh, for sure.
I can read like the first thing, and then it'll give you an idea of what it is.
What's the copyright? Can we read that? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, just because it's generated by computer, somebody owns the program that generated that.
Well, I'm
It's
gonna
their
link
work.
you guys below, and you can read it. It's on botnik.org, and it's titled "The Handsome One." Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, it looks good already.
It's really good. Okay,
Yeah.
so the words used are really what brought me back to my childhood. I don't know what it is about that syntax, but like, even though some of it did make sense and it was like funny and ridiculous, it really did. Like, I was immediately in my bedroom as like a middle schooler, you know, an elementary kid, being like, I love Harry Potter. It was crazy. It was crazy, and
Yeah.
it's just, you guys have to read it. It's so funny. I don't want to do any like spoilers, but if you've read the Harry Potter books, you're gonna love it. It's great.
Oh, it looks good. Is it formatted as a Harry Potter book as well?
Yeah, so like
Is
it
it
has an
photo generated,
illustration.
or is it like is the illustration generated?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But it uses the same like typeface and everything.
Oh, something I want to announce.
Yes.
So coming up real soon here, we have a conference. And if you've ever watched the show before, you kind of know what we're working on. We want to decentralize and democratize artificial intelligence through the Ethereum blockchain. And you can check us out at synapse.ai. But anyway, the bigger issue is like you have a bunch of people that are working in a similar space, and we want to bring all those people together, right? And we're throwing kind of a conference or summit happening in January, late January, called the Decentralized AI Summit. And you'll want to check it out. It's decentralized-ai.com. And we're doing a call for speakers. So if you're interested in presenting, talking about your research, or just coming out, you can visit us at decentralized-ai.com. Hit us up. There's like an email button where you can sign up for the newsletter. You can send us an email if you're interested in sponsoring, things like that. But ultimately, it's about getting people who are thinking about this future all under the same roof and talking to one another, right? Yeah, I think that's super important. And if you're interested in coming out or visiting or participating in some way, we are open, and this is for everyone. So hit us up.
Yeah, I linked you guys below, so you can click on the link if you so desire. But yeah, do we have any?
So do we have any questions? What are you working on at home? If you have a cool project and you want us to check it out and talk about it online, you can do that now.
Someone's asking you for an interview.
Okay.
Hi, David.
What is it? Crypto group. Cool.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I would love to do a live interview with your group.
Oh, Chess AI. I think that was with Google. Beat the best chess engine last week.
Cool.
Also, Google created like an AI that does chess, and they only did it.
Is it chess or AlphaGo?
I thought it was chess in 4 hours. It
Oh.
learned like everything in 4 hours. It seems like doable.
Every human strategy in
Yeah.
4 hours?
Every human strategy, every move, every like.
But I mean, that's just... I guess I don't understand
Yeah.
the true impact of that. Like, if you just had the space to know every move...
I was kidding about that cat in a jacket thing. I figured it out.
That was so creepy.
What is this, Pegasus? What is...
Yeah, this is Mary, but it's
Mary,
Pegasus,
that's right. Yeah.
That was great timing too. Yeah, I don't know what the like point of it would be, but I guess it says superhuman performance.
Interesting.
I mean, but 4 hours, like that doesn't seem like that big of an accomplishment. Am I just being a butthead and like it's a big deal?
No, I think somebody mentioned in our AI Slack group that it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it seems like why do people even care?
I think it's marketing hype. They had what, Deep Blue or something? IBM had Deep Blue back in the day that played against Kasparov or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Is it like that kind of fear of like machines taking over kind of thing, or?
Yes.
I guess because then people think that it could be applied to like anything.
But if anything, if that happens, wouldn't you guys just consider that our next evolution?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be excited if something came along that did like unsupervised learning, that understood and saw the system, and ended up being better than anyone else. Like that would be super cool.
Also, I want it to be implanted in my brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Like as an accessory that you can become
Why
a part
can't-
of it.
Yeah.
Would you take orders from a voice? I guess you might already take orders from a voice inside your head.
I'm like, oh, that's me.
I guess we already do. Divine intervention. Would you take orders from a voice inside your head? Like if you were plugged into a massive global supercomputer.
What if there is some sort of way? I mean, I guess this is getting more sci-fi a little bit. But
Is it though?
Well, I guess it's getting more science. No,
Yeah.
just without the fiction.
Yeah.
But like, isn't it also possible that you could have it like change chemicals in your head to not only tell you, not even tell you, like it wouldn't just be a voice in your head. It would just be
Right.
Like a sense?
like
You
it
mean?
would be like your subconscious mind telling you to do it,
Right.
as opposed to your conscious mind hearing a voice.
It would become their directive would become
Welcome
your.
to the new noise bridge. We are no longer a festering shithole. Don't aim to keep it that way.
That's amazing.
Yep. So you're basically saying their directives would be. Well, now I totally forgot what I was saying. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, their directives would become your subconscious.
So you would think
Cheese.
it's coming from yourself?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it would be.
Or you wouldn't even think about it coming from yourself. You would know that it's coming from yourself. Like you
Yeah.
would think that you know, like
You would be so influenced by this voice. That's terrifying.
You would have the desire. It would become a desire. Its will would be your desire.
Then who are you?
Ooh, who are you?
I'm nothing. I'm a pile of trash.
the way that I kind of think about it is almost like those ants with like the
Yeah.
fungi in their
Right.
brain
Yeah.
a little bit, where it's like they don't know why they're doing it, but they know that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Or like the snails.
Yeah, the snails
are
that have
infected.
like they have like that kind of like weird like parasite in them that
Yeah,
like, goes
yeah.
into their eye, so they get eaten by a bird.
Yeah, they want to climb up
A tree.
a tree
And
to get eaten by a bird
Yeah.
because it's part of that thing's life cycle.
Is to get eaten by a
What?
bird,
Yeah.
and then to get pooped out by the bird, and then that's when it lays like the babies and all that stuff. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never heard of this. I'm looking this
It's
up.
something that willingly, I guess, commits suicide in order to preserve the species.
yeah, but also too, it makes the
Oh,
it
that's
makes the snail do its
disgusting.
bidding.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm linking you guys below. It's disgusting. Oh my god. This is shocking.
Yeah. And also too, I just watched a podcast with. Do you guys know that guy Vsauce at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the thing where like he took like a truth serum,
Hmm.
and it really worked on him, and he like really answered all of these questions. It was like a YouTube Red show called Minefield.
I
but
just found it.
But it was like there was what was it? It was and like they'd ask him all these questions and he would just answer it and apparently like he felt like he was like super in charge. He was like, yeah, I know the answer to all these things, and it was
Right.
like he just lost that like inhibition to just not say things he felt like he wasn't supposed to say. So at one point,
Dude.
while he was in it, they asked him, do you like filming Vsauce or this show better? And he was like, oh, I love filming Vsauce so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that he would have never said under the right, in the right head, kind of.
Right.
Which was funny because like a few weeks later, I think his like producer asked him, like, do you not like filming this as much? And he didn't even remember it. That's the crazy part. He doesn't remember any of that happening.
Wow.
This is a real thing. And then like they give you like there's like an antidote that they give you, and it activates immediately. And he took that antidote, and like almost immediately, like he just been like, well, what's going on, guys? Like, what did I miss? Like where am I? Like why? What's happening right now? And he forgot everything that happened. And you come to so quick, like it almost, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I
like
want to take that.
it brought up questions about how ethical it is a little bit too, because it's like is it ethical, like let's say if you're torturing somebody, to get
Right.
somebody to answer these questions against their will, like not consent to answering questions.
Don't you think it's better than like chopping off their fingers though?
Oh, geez, that got weird.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Well,
it's like,
it's been proven that torture is ineffective, right? That's what I've seen in the shows, in the television shows that I watch.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chinese water torture is effective.
But people
Yeah.
will.
Oh, you're saying that they'll say whatever they need to
Right.
say in order to get.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think truth serum is way more ethical than like
Yeah.
real
Well,
torture.
but like mentally ethical, I think was the question
No.
where it's like,
It's not mentally ethical.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
If you want to join us, so we're streaming live now. If you want to be on the show,
So where's inside the field of the camera?
right here. So you
Yeah.
could sit here and be,
You'll be in the thing.
in the shot. But you would have to come around here.
Let me come right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a jungle gym over there.
It is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't want to be like in the front of the camera. Can I sit next to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Hi, Micah. Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, I actually did a podcast with this guy, a Neuralace podcast, and we lost
Yeah.
the data.
We did. We walked around the city and we talked about the Neuralace,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we did.
What is the Neuralace?
Neuralace is next generation brain computer interface.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about how that might work.
Dang.
Yeah. So we're so Hack Days basically talk about anything you want. So what are you working on lately?
So right now, I am. I'm organizing SFVR events, San Francisco Virtual Reality.
Cool.
And I'm also I have Silicon Valley Global News, so I'm going to conventions and getting news, collecting news stories, and filming them on Facebook Live, and then later on adding them to my blog, svgman.io.
Nice.
Sick.
Yeah, and then I still do I started doing like what I call the Nerve Gear Show.
Yeah.
Which is like again,
Yeah.
it's like renaming the Neuralace. But the idea was I did it in Facebook Spaces with
Oh, Facebook Spaces is a VR like where everyone looks like a cartoon kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
So we did
That
it in
is so
Spaces, we
sick.
broadcast it live.
Really? From
Right,
Spaces?
From VR. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so that was called the Nerve Care Show. I did it with a neuroscientist who comes around here. Her name is Sarah, but Shosky or something. But, and then I did a follow-up. So that didn't get huge ratings. I did a follow-up, and we called the show Desktop Robot, because a lot of the technologies involved with researching Neuralace could be applicable to creating a technological singularity that's self-aware, a self-aware network.
Right.
So, I have a group on Facebook called Self-Aware Networks, and that's all we do is we research, how the brain might work and how we can hack into it.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. And how
That's
we can
cool.
create brains and artificial cortex.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a cool topic to rally people around. And so what's great is like I have a neurophysics group that has 9,000 people in it. I'm like, yes, 9,000 people are interested in diving deep into
Right.
the physics of neurons and
Yeah.
approaching it from that perspective.
It seems like a very niche topic, and 9,000 people on a very niche topic about what is literally the future.
Yeah.
It seems really exciting.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people who are very academic, or a lot of people who are kind of armchair, or like a lot of people who are just interested in like what that future will facilitate? Like, what is the audience like there?
Well, without knowing each of those 9,000 people,
You don't know each
I
one
don't
of
know
those?
each one
Ah.
individually, but I suspect that there's a good amount of armchair, but
Yeah.
every once in a while we get a really legit neuroscientist who joins one of our groups.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In some cases, on rare occasion, we'll get like a famous person who joined
Nice.
one of these like self-aware networks. Anyway,
That's cool.
yeah.
It's funny because have you seen what we've been working on?
I've been
with
watching
Synapse?
Actives.
Okay.
I don't know a lot.
Yeah, you should
about
check out Synapse. We're doing decentralized AI.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So.
But I think there's a lot of like parallels every time we meet up. It seems like
So tell me about Synapse. If you
Yeah.
want to.
I don't want to pitch it now. I mean,
Okay.
we could pitch it later. I'm more curious to bring in because I literally pitch it every time.
Pitch it every time. And so people are like,
Yeah,
like
they're-
we've seen this already.
Right. So tell us more about what's happening with you now in terms of like your research, and then where you're headed in the future. Yeah. What's next?
What's next? Well, okay, so what I want to do next is I want to start coming down to Noisebridge, which is where you are on Sundays. But the reason is because there is I guess there's a neuro hacking space here. And
Yeah.
what I want to So I guess they have an OpenBCI headset, right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually with a developer. I'm part of a group called the Vision Agency, and they make a product called Microdose VR.
The what agency?
The Vision Agency.
Vision Agency. Okay.
Yeah, led by Android Jones, and they make Microdose VR. Right? It's like one of the most pretty.
What is Microdose to VR?
So Microdose VR is this Vive application that you put on your Vive HTC Vive headset, and you have your two controllers, and you are able to paint the most amazing 3D polygons into space. But what's great is that we also have like an audio reactor. So we have a DJ who works on the team. His name is Blue. His handle is Blue Tech, right? So when you paint these polygons in space, they're so much photorealistic. It's like it's actually there. It's really pretty graphics.
Neat.
But then they start pulsing with the music of the DJ. So you're like creating music with your hands.
Yeah.
And then,
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we got this, and then so Android is friends with, Andrew Jones is friends with the CEO of Views, and so they got us this faceplate which has EEG sensors in it and heart rate sensor. So we're like taking the heart rate sensor and making your heart rate cause changes to the size and shape and vibration of all the polygons that you're making.
Oh, nice.
In addition to them being auto-reactive, so your biofeedback is actually changing the graphics around you.
We this week went out to CCA. We were asked to judge some industrial design students' projects, and a lot of them revolved around biofeedback, and a lot of them. There was one that had, and I think we have video of this that we'll be putting up as well. One that had lights that sensed. It connected to an EEG headset, so you had basically like home appliances that would interact and react to what you are and what you're doing. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is like, okay, not only can they reflect, but they can provide feedback in such a way that they can help you converge on some particular state of being, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fascinating. That was a big theme there. Another one was this really interesting, and in some ways it's kind of a feedback loop, where they would basically turn babies into surveillance machines, so that it would record all the smells, all the sights, all the sounds of being you as a baby, right?
You can run deep learning neural networks on that data and try to predict.
Yeah, but I don't think they realize
but they didn't realize that. But I thought it would be cool is if you could replay that as you were expiring, and like you could be a baby again as you're leaving the world, as like this 2001 Space Odyssey thing, right?
Yeah. That'd be a good way to go out.
Right? It would kind of like, totally. Because what they also did was they turned the experience into a virtual reality experience, into not virtual reality, but you could replay it, right? From the baby's perspective.
Yeah.
And it was really like when I put it on, I was like, I'm a baby now, because everyone was giant in that thing, and it was like, but
it was cool.
It's so interesting that we're starting to see that thematically more and more, right? Of like
there's a convergence,
right,
of science and technology.
Yeah.
People want to mess around with effective sensors and typically stuff in the domain of neuroscience. They want to bring it into VR, and they want to bring it, blockchain and artificial intelligence and all these different buzzwords.
Yeah.
They want to bring the technologies behind those buzzwords together. And
right.
People are doing it. It's kind of like what I focus on at Silicon Valley Global Natives.
Oh, cool. We should chat then, because I was preaching AI and blockchain when everyone was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah. That was actually the focus of my last event at San Francisco Virtual Reality. Was I had a speaker from Decentraland who was talking about web VR and blockchain, and I had a speaker from I'm forgetting their mapping aggregation platform, and they are combining blockchain with location-based augmented reality, location-based services with augmented reality. So what that means is that retail location.
Did they work out of here?
I don't know.
Because I feel like I know that person. That's awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead. Pitch us this idea. It's great.
So they're like every retail location is on the blockchain, and so when you go into their location, you're served up. Your AR headset is served up the content that they want. They would like you to consider looking at while you're visiting their location.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
that just makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a really great idea. And they're combining I think this idea. I've discussed it with different people, but now we're talking about bringing blockchain into location-based services. and you know, bringing location-based services and AR was something people have already talked about before.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the coolest stuff keeps on getting cooler by combining more cool stuff.
I agree. And people are like, oh, that's a lot of buzzwords in one sentence. I'm like, but do you understand the implications? Like, the emergence of a product out of these things, like, I'm sure capacitors were a buzzword at one point, you know, transistors were, right?
Yeah.
So right now, Intel is asking Microdose VR, or actually asking Android, who leads the Vision HTC team, to create a version of Microdose for the Neurable headset, which is like an EG headset that's designed to fit the HTC Vive. And that's great. I mean, they're like a competitor to me, so we're already working with. But what I want to do here, the reason I want to maybe start a project here with people with the OpenBCI folks is like, what if we could take the OpenBCI headset and create a version of it, like a 3D printed version of it here with the 3D printers in this building, and so that it fits the HTC Vive, and the Oculus Rift. Right. So that everybody can 3D print their own EEG headset for their Vive.
I think it's last mile stuff like that companies like Apple and Google and Vive, like, they should be striving for, and they probably want, right? If you can get the last mile feedback of how people are actually engaging with what's in front of them, like, truly, not just like eyes, not just expression, but like mentally engaging, like, I mean, that's awesome. That's like next level stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So we're throwing the Decentralized AI conference, actually, and we would love.
Oh, you're organizing that?
Yeah.
Have I seen that? Okay.
Yeah. Well, we just announced it, right? And so we would like to maybe figure out a way we can partner, because it sounds like you're definitely in the same space or something.
Yeah. I organize events with San Francisco Virtual Reality, but I like to participate in the community as much as possible.
Yeah.
I do demo the Microdose VR.
Cool.
So, you know, if you guys could demo there,
or for sure.
That would be sick.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be so sick.
Yeah.
And I just got a TP cast too, so it'll be wireless.
Woo!
It's great. I love the demo because every time someone gets in there, they just first of all, it takes a few minutes for them to like figure it out, and then they just start dancing.
Right. Yeah.
How cool.
That's great. That's super awesome. So what else is happening in your world that you're excited about? That other projects that are happening or other advancements, like? Because you're like on the bleeding edge. You know what's happening, right?
Yeah. So I know that there's a company in San Diego that is bringing sensors to the market that are like 1 billion times improvement over EEG sensors.
Really?
You can configure them to measure like a single electron passing over a cell membrane.
Really?
Like that. And so that's another reason why I'm like pushing the let's do OpenBCI so we can modify it so it works with VR, so we can take their product and like I'm just like very forward thinking in that respect.
Yeah.
And then so maybe we can like so one thing that I talked about in the podcast with you was actually there are people out there in this world who are like joint twins where their brains are like physically connected, and they're connected, and there's you know, I don't want to like, you know, people can like, you know, search for sources of joint twins. I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but
like when you mean connected, you mean like can fill one another's loss
like
and
their
things like that.
Like their skulls in their brains are physically grown together.
Physically, okay.
Yeah. So
I thought you meant
there is a case of conjoined twins where, because their skulls are physically connected, like one twin can, they can't see through, they can't see the same thing at the same time, because if one person wants to turn their head to the left, the other person's head moves farther to the left, so they can't look at the same television at the same time. But you can ask the twin who's not looking at the television what their twin is saying, and they can.
That's
the first
weird.
twin can tell you, so they're able to see through the other twin's eyes.
Wow.
And it's interesting because of where their brains are connected. They're connected partially through the thalamus and above that, like the hypothalamus. And it's like, it makes me think, well, if you can see through, they can see through each other's eyes and they can taste what each other tastes. One of the twins loves ketchup. One of them hates ketchup.
Oh no!
So they can torture each other. Like
the
twin that loves ketchup and the other twin's like, oh, gross, oh, you know.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
How old are they?
So I think they're adults now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The idea is that, you know, if the thalamus or certain parts of the brain they're connected by allows you to send and receive sensory information between the two brains, you know, visual information and taste information, then maybe that part of the brain could be the target for a Neuralace, which is what we talked about in the Neuralace podcast that we lost, unfortunately, because I lost the archive. But
And it was great. The best podcast you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that part of the brain elements is like really hard to get to. So I've been like, talking to companies that have really exotic sensors, like the one in San Diego that I mentioned. To see
So when you talk about neural lace, are you talking about implants?
Both. I'm talking about because we want to explore for research purposes implants for people who just have extreme medical situations and stuff. But we also there's so many. The thing is, there's so many great wireless technologies on this planet.
Right.
So it just has to be it's very plausible to me that that we should be able to find a wireless technology that can send and receive what's in the deep part of the brain.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And that may not be it may not even be the best part of the brain to target for neural lace. I mean, it could be that because the brain is a very general learning algorithm, you could eventually like attach to any part of the brain and send and receive information. That's a hypothesis, but so David Eagleman talks about how you can plug in like you could take a rat's eyes and plug it into the part of the brain that is the rat's ears, and the rat's brain will figure it out. And the eyes will start functioning normally. It's like the cortex itself is like a very general learning program, so it can be reprogrammed. You could put in 10 new eyeballs. You could put in stock data. It's one of David Eagleman's idea. You can plug stock data into your brain, and eventually your brain's going to figure it out. It can be predicting stock better than anyone else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like bypassing all hardware neural networks.
Right. So if someone's blind, what they're doing is they have a tongue strip, right, or back strip, and so the camera signals on the camera sensor are turned into electrodes that simulate the tongue, and the brain figures out visual data from that. And so people who are completely blind can see through a camera because of that sort of exterior bioport.
Wow.
So it's possible that I think that we could target like maybe the thalamus and maybe put a sensor up the nose surgically.
Yeah.
But it might be possible that we could just
sign me up.
Yeah, same.
I'll reverse Total Recall a sensor.
Yeah. But it might be that we could do it from any part of the brain, and it might be that we could do it from so if you could plug into any part of the brain, then the question is, well, how do you if the brain is like a network, how do you browse that network?
Yeah.
What's the web browser? What's the web browsing protocol?
Yeah.
Is it more like
and how can I erase my browsing history?
There you go. Is it more like TCP? Is it more like UDP?
Right.
What is the communication protocol?
Probably UDP, I think.
You think? Well, I get different answers from different folks.
Really?
The reason I always said TCP is like imagine in the double slit experiment when you're observing something and you're actually affecting it. So it's not just like a packet of data is thrown at your eye, like the photons are thrown at your eye. It's like it's like a handshake because you get the data and then something is sent back that affects what's physically there in the double slit, the observer experiment. So that would be like a handshake. Like there's a feedback loop between you and what you're observing.
But if we're just talking about
which a TCP is like a feedback loop. It's
right.
Like a handshake.
Interesting. Yeah. I would still say it's lossy. It would have to be lossy. Unless the loss is a parameter of its output.
So we have unconscious information, we have conscious information.
Right.
And what if the key difference one of the key differences there could be that when it's conscious, it's in a feedback loop. It's data and it has temporarily active data and it's cycling. But when it's unconscious, it's not in a feedback loop. So then it's more like UDP.
Yeah.
And it's like a packet that's just being thrown around. Anyway.
No, I agree. Sorry, I'm going to be posting what TCP is versus UDP to our audience so they know. They're not all hardcore hackers, I think. There might be one or two that aren't.
Yeah, so there's some great, neuroscientists that I follow, like Olaf Swarns, who talks about networks of the brain. There was this book that I read in 2005.
How do you spell the name?
Olaf, O-L-A-F, and then last name is S-P-O-R-N-S.
Okay. That was a book you read?
Yeah, so he wrote in the book Networks of the Brain, and then there's a book called The Neural Basis of Free Will Criterial Causation, which is something I really recommend because they talk about how neurons as coincidence detectors. They can detect if there are two signals below within 3 milliseconds, or if it's a variable amount of milliseconds. But so the neuron can, if it detects that coincidence, it can fire. And that's one way for a neuron to detect coincidences. I mean, there's a lot more going on with neurons, obviously, dendrites. And dendrites can, or some people are saying them as mini computers with their own, ability to store computations over a long time and then trigger themselves to fire them depending on some circumstances. So anyway, so there's like a lot of cool. This book, of course, a lot of people have read Douglas Hofstadter's On the Strange Loop, and I think that kind of gives the idea that we are, in a sense, a kind of strange feedback loop, like humans. Yeah. And the human brain is like this. Is like a hierarchy of feedback loops. Small feedback loops and large feedback loops. Like, so your sensory information comes in through your eyes and your ears. Yeah. Like the photons bounce off your eyes and they cause the proteins in the ganglia neurons to flip, and it causes the separation of positive and negative charges, and the calcium and potassium ions, and then eventually, just like a lightning strike, there's an action potential, right? Because it has to renormalize, has to rebalance itself. And so you have this surge of electrical signals along the optic nerve to the thalamus, and so the eyes and ears and every sense except for the nose goes through the thalamus first. So it's like that sensory information is in the thalamus first, and then it goes from the thalamus back into so the eyes go back into the occipital lobes and the parietal lobes, and then through the rest of your brain. Your visual cortex back here. And then it all comes back around to the thalamus, which is like the top of the pyramid of the neocortex. So it's like a big feedback loop from your eyes to the thalamus to the neocortex, back around through the whole neocortex to your thalamus again. So your brain is a feedback loop of information.
Wow.
And
do you think it held state there and then it's like running this function across the input and comparing the input to the output?
Wait, say that again.
Okay, so like you said, it runs into the thalamus, runs through the brain back to the thalamus.
Yeah.
So do you think it captures state of like this is the input, runs it through a bunch of different functions and takes the output of those functions and compares it to the original state?
So functions are like if then like transmitters, like if or else, right? But we're talking like,
I guess more probabilistic.
I would say it's more like it's a lot closer to a neural network. Like it is kind of like a neural. It's like the natural neural network.
Right.
So it's like you're running it through a neural network. So if you look at Google's deep dream generator, when you have a neural network that's rendering something, and then you pass it through the network again. Like so, you train it on photos of cats, dogs, and snails, and then you give it a photo that it's never seen before. It could be clouds. And you run it through the neural network and have the lower levels of the neural network render what they think is there. Right. And then you run it through that same network again, over and over again, and eventually it starts to see cats and dogs and snails in the clouds, just like we see things in clouds, right? That's Google's deep dream generator. You can do that if you want to. But, and I use that for like the artwork on San Francisco Virtual Reality. It's like artwork. Like I create the basic outline in like Photoshop, and then I run it through the deep dream generator, and it creates all these fancy graphics on top of my logos for the event. So the idea there is like if our whole brain is sort of a neural network that like receives the data, renders what's there, and then passes that to the next level of the neural network. And it's like every part of the brain is sort of like rendering a frame of reality. And as it passes through the different parts of the neocortex, you're rendering different frames of reality over time. And so if you take 10 seconds at a time, and you say if I have 10 seconds and like a movie, like a movie editor, like Adobe Premiere, you guys use movie editors, right, for your podcasts and stuff. If you can take your consciousness and give that and just put that into a movie editor and say this is 10 seconds of consciousness, and each frame is made up of neural activity that takes place in this part of the brain, and then this part of the brain, and then this part of the brain, and then this part of the brain, along your timeline, right? And you can say that those are the frames of my consciousness over 10 seconds, and they're consisting of parts of my neurons that have, in aggregate, detected coincidence of patterns and rendered what they thought was there, based on previous sensory incoming data and new incoming sensory data.
Right.
And so that's how you could potentially render the frames of your mind or your consciousness.
Yeah.
And we could potentially hack that if that's the case.
Yeah, what if you could map like all these frames of your mind and then...
So that's why we want to put more sensors in the brain.
Yeah.
And then apply deep learning neural networks to the task of identifying those brainwave patterns that correlate with the patterns of the world around us. So one of the projects that I have and that I've been pitching in my podcast is if we take the self-driving car and give it to a person in their backpack, right? So it's now you have a self-driving human. It's not trying to drive you, it's just trying to predict objects around you. is trying to say that this object consists of like the concept of this object is all these different coincidence patterns detected by the artificial neural network. And this matches the brainwave pattern that artificial intelligence has identified with your medical imaging. And so then if we have that pattern in the computer, then the trick is, this went into the podcast, the trick is how do we send that pattern? So if I can say, I know what this pattern is in terms of brainwaves over time across your brain, and if we know what this pattern is, and we have it in the computer, how do we send it back into your brain? And so, you know, I think that the way to do it is you have to see what's there, because there's always going to be something there.
Yeah.
And then you have to send the difference between what's there and the pattern that you've captured in the computer, pattern this. So if you send the difference and it causes the sum of the pattern here to match the pattern of what your brain would have if this light was here, then your brain could interpret something in your reality that's not actually there.
Like, okay, what if when your consciousness is like interrupted, like people with PTSD and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like reacting to something that is crazy. You know what I mean? Okay, people who come back from war,
Like they
hear
relive
a loud
something.
noise, and all of a sudden they're like, and they're triggered by whatever it is they're triggered by, and then they're not acting like themselves. So could we build something that basically is an overlay and changes your consciousness in that moment to know, I don't know, almost like to distract you from them?
Yeah, maybe.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously everything that I said could be wrong, but you know, it's a huge topic. But,
Yeah.
But maybe I like that.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that would change people's lives. It would.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
That was very thoughtful of you.
All right.
should I exit stage one?
Well, actually, it's about time to stop.
I think we're gonna wrap up.
We had a great Hack Days.
Yeah.
Now's the time to go around, state your name, where people can find you, social handles, whatever.
Yeah.
Plug and pitch events, things you're working on, other people's stuff, whatever. Now's your time to shine, right?
Okay.
You want to go first and show them how it's done, and then
I'll go first. My name's Catherine. I am nowhere on the internet and you can't find me. But I'll be helping them throw the decentralized conference, and I linked that down below. I'll link it again. But yeah, come to Hack Days on Sundays at 2:30. Come to the Crypto Builders Meetup. Is that this Wednesday?
it's this Wednesday.
We have a Crypto Builders Meetup this Wednesday. I'll link you guys below as well. We have our friend Ty coming to speak about how to build your own mining rig and his trials and tribulations with that. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'll link you guys below though.
So that's how it works.
I'm looking forward to that because I'm looking to build my own mining rig.
Really?
Are
Cool.
you?
Of course, yeah.
Nice. Of course, got to make that money.
Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe if I build it, I can resell it. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Either way.
There's a market there. All right, now's your time.
Okay, so you can find me. You can find links to the Neuralace podcast at http://vrma.io. The next article that I write is going to be at svgn.io. I also administrate 29 Facebook groups on virtual reality, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and computational neuroscience, a whole bunch of different topics, computational biology. And then you can find the link to those groups at http://vrma.work. And those are my key references. I'm also with San Francisco Virtual Reality. The main website is sfvr.net. And we're going to post our next event for January, probably in the middle of the month, maybe the 18th. And the website for finding that information will be sfvr360.com.
Sweet. A lot of stuff. Good stuff to plug.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't really have too much to plug, at least yet. Hope maybe in the future or something. So.
Cool. If people want to find you online, connect with you over Twitter or anything, do you have?
I guess over Twitter. I just have. It's not too active right now. I'm looking to change that, but
Sure.
it's like it's just at CRAQQUY, pretty much. So
Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. And as usual, I'm Dan Gailey. You can find me on Twitter at DPG and on Facebook, Dan Gailey. You can also find me. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Synapse.ai, where we're building decentralized artificial intelligence. You can check out more about that in our white paper and our yellow paper. The yellow paper is the more technical one. We are also throwing the Decentralized Artificial Intelligence Summit. So if you're working on something in the space or you're interested in learning more, you should hit us up. We're at decentralized-ai.com.
That's a great domain name.
Yeah, right? It was available, which is weird.
Amazing.
Right? Yeah, check us out there. And we have the Crypto Builders Meetup. So if you're building anything in the way of cryptocurrency, looking to learn more about programming and Solidity, anything in that field, it happens every other week here at Noisebridge. It's a Crypto Builders Meetup, and it happens at 7 p.m. So we have, like what was mentioned earlier, we have somebody who's coming out and talking about mining and all of their experiences there. Should be a good talk, but the audience is probably the best reason to come. So you'll meet other people, other hackers, just like you from all levels. We also do hack days every Sunday, so if you're in the Bay Area, you can come out and join us and talk about all the nerdy stuff that you love, that you're working on, or that other people are working on. So you can do that here. You can find us at facebook.com/groups/hackdays4all. You can also find us on Meetup here locally at I don't know, Crypto Builders Meetup, Hack Days. Yeah.
I have one more. So people should join my Facebook group, Death Star Robot, at deathstarrobot.com.
Okay, you actually have that domain. That's a good
How
domain.
do you spell it?
Death
Star.
Oh,
Robot.
Death Star.
Yeah, like Star Wars.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
When I heard your decentralized AI,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want to share my cool domain name.
Yeah,
too.
share your cool domain names. If
That
you have
is
cool domain
amazing.
names, share them here. But so as usual, be excellent to each other and hack the planet. And we'll see you next week.
Wow.